Brothers and sisters, I am excited and pleased to have an amazing brother on Bean Soup Radio today. He's truly a shaker and a mover, and really just doing some incredible and honorable things. He's a native of Gary, Indiana, right up the street from Chicago. And matter of fact, he is from the same high school that the Jackson 5 graduated from, Gary's Roosevelt High School, or I don't know if some people say Roosevelt. But man, we are pleased to have Morris Gary here on Bean Soup Radio. How you doing, brother?
I'm fantastic, man. How are you? Thank you. I'm very honored to be here.
Man, it's an honor to have you here, brother. We thank you so much. We're hearing about the great things that you're doing in the realm of entertainment and theater, and man, I just love it. I think it's so important to just do a myriad of things that you're doing. One, keeping people's name who have done great things in our community alive, giving people an opportunity to express themselves, and you know, I'm a communications type person, so I also see just the value of helping people to learn how to better communicate, which is a big part, of course, of live performance and stage and theater. So you're doing some great things, so we're pleased to have you on the show.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very honored.
Absolutely. And so how did all this get started? I hear you start off at a very young age doing live performances.
I did my first performance in my backyard in Gary, Indiana, and I can remember it was the summer that my family had purchased our first deep freezer. It happened to be a vertical one, and we were the first ones in our family to have one that was not the horizontal type that opened with a lid, sort of like a coffin. This was like a large refrigerator. And I asked my mother if we could keep the box that summer because I wanted to do a show. So I produced a show and directed it, wrote it, and performed in it, which included many of my neighbors and, of course, all of my first cousins. I think we charged 50 cents in the backyard. My mother made the costumes, and our backyard was bubbling over. We did numbers from the Mickey Mouse Club, which was a little bit unusual in a predominantly black city, that you had kids for summer doing Saddle Your Pony. But as I remember, that probably was the first start to what I'm doing now.
Wow. That's beautiful.
You never know where it begins, right?
That's right. That's right. You caught the bug and haven't stopped since. Man, that's
Listen,
beautiful.
I want to say congratulations to you on your show and on your success.
You.
I'm very proud to know another Morehouse brother. And, of course, we're doing what we should be doing.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely. We got some good training at that institution. I'm very proud to have gone there.
Hey, not to be questioned.
So, you have a play, a one-man show with a special performance by Maggie Brown. Tell us about this Something About Oscar that you're doing that has been getting some incredible reviews throughout Chicago.
Well, you know, I guess I should start by telling you how the whole thing started. And since there's a Morehouse connection, I'll share the initial story. I had just graduated Morehouse and returned to Gary, Indiana, and I was a huge fan of Maya Angelou. And on, I think, WGCI or WBMX, I'm dating myself, they announced that she would be performing at Malcolm X College, and I really, really wanted to go. But I didn't drive well enough to, go to Chicago from Gary. So I engaged my next-door neighbor and asked if she would take me, and she agreed. We arrived at Malcolm X College, and I had probably 5 or 6 Maya Angelou books in hope of meeting Dr. Angelou and having them signed. And before she came on, they announced that there would be an opening act, Oscar Brown Jr. And Oscar Brown Jr. Now I'm thinking Oscar Peterson, Oscar Brown, and it really couldn't ring a bell for me. He came on and performed and blew me away. Then he introduced his wife, Jean Pace, and I thought, these people are incredible. How could I be a graduate, a theater major from a predominantly black college and not know who Oscar Brown Jr. was?
Wow.
So I made a beeline for him right after the show and said, hey, man, you're fantastic. I want to work with you. He said, great. I said, well, how do I do it? He said, call me. I said, but I don't have your number. He said, do you have a pen? I found which is how the title of the show evolved.
Wow, that's beautiful. And you all went to produce some things together at Carlos One Supper Club in Manhattan. And
well, actually, he produced that. I studied with him for a year in hopes of getting into the graduate school, the MFA in acting program at Yale. And Oscar kind of thought that was, a little bit unusual that I wanted to do that because he was, at that time, he was multi-talented. He was a lyricist. He was a playwright. He was an actor. He was a singer. He did everything. And I wanted to sort of limit myself to only doing acting. But he agreed to help me, so I worked with him probably 2 or 3 nights from 1985 to 1986. When the big decision came that I did not get into the program, he said, well, why the hell do you need to go to college for it? I never did. Just live life, and it will come. So he wrote a show called Sliced Apple and took me on the road as part of the opening act, along with his daughter, Maggie Brown, his wife, Jean Pace. And so we played Carlos One in New York City for a summer. It was very, very exciting. I sat there on the sidelines, the way the show was set up. We would come on and introduce him, and then he would come on and do the show. And I can remember that summer for every night for a couple of months, sitting on a staircase in the wing watching him do his show and just being amazed by his talent and his reception by the audience, and sort of beginning to dream that someday I'd like to do that. And so it's very interesting that this thing has sort of come full circle for me.
Yes, man, that's beautiful. And of course, we know that he passed in 2005, and your show is a part of helping to continue his legacy and his memory.
Oh, we're keeping him alive, man. We're introducing the music and the work to new generations and to people who are of his generation who somehow missed out on the joy of the work of Oscar Brown Jr.
Man, that is so beautiful. And this is not the first run. You've run this performance in various parts of Chicago, but you're going to be at ETA this time.
Right. We're very excited. When ETA Theater opened, the first, in the building that they are currently, the first production was a piece called Journey Through Forever by Oscar Brown Jr. So we're very happy to be mounting a couple of numbers from that musical at the ETA performance. So I think there's a very, very special connection between Oscar Brown and his work and the theater. So very, very honored. And, of course, Philip Thomas, our Morehouse brothers there.
Right,
so
that's right.
Very, very happy to be bringing it to a theater that is a part of family already before we even go in there.
Right. That is so beautiful. And, and it's not lost on me the beauty, like you said, of it coming full circle. So now you're doing a one-man show with a special performance by Maggie, whom you started on the road with. And this is just a beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah. Maggie and I have known each other since we were early 20s. And she's like a sister to me. She's been so supportive. And she's been just inspiration and a mentor in this project. So I can't thank her enough. And she's a dynamic performer, marvelous vocalist. So I'm very honored to have her join me with the show. We've done over 30 shows throughout the city as well as in New York. And it's been well received, so I'm hoping that lots of people will come out to ETA Theater and get involved with us and get involved with that theater. It's a very, very important theater in Chicago. A lot of times we're the city of neighborhoods, and people go to one theater in their neighborhood and don't support all of them. So we're hoping to not only do a great show, but to bring a new audience to ETA and to get some people who live in the community of ETA to come back to the theater or to explore it for the first time.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's right. I've been over to ETA recently and just had a great experience with my really 3 generations. We skipped 1 generation, but my grandfather, myself, and my children. So we had 3 generations there enjoying a performance there. And so with, I've had the honor of seeing Oscar Brown Jr. perform live, and he is really a force of nature with music, with poetry, with social commentary, And is that what we can expect to hear?
Oh, for sure, for sure. We do a lot of the music from many of the periods of his life.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting how the show is evolving. It's masterfully directed by Chuck Smith, who is a godsend to me. My musical director is Calvin Coco Brunson, who a lot of people in the community and in the music world know. The two of them have really, really helped shape, and the show constantly evolves. We've done over 30 shows now, and we've never done the same show twice. There's a certain framework that sort of stays, but in each show we've been able to add 2, 3, this time 5 new numbers that I've not done. Oscar Brown Jr. wrote over 1,000 songs in over 15 plays and musicals, so there's a plethora of material to select from. So we try and shape it to a theme depending on how we're working. We've done a segment of joy. We've done classic Oscar. We've done Oscar's lyricist. This time we do a salute to the musical. So it's been a very, very interesting project. And as I said, we keep evolving. So I hope that people will come, see it, and get involved with us, follow the project, continue to watch it grow, and find something refreshing about Oscar Brown Jr.
Yes, sir. That's absolutely beautiful. So that's something about Oscar. ETA Theater, 7558 South Chicago. Performances are Friday the 17th, Saturday the 18th, and Sunday the 19th. Tickets are $25. They have group pricing, group rates. So you can go to somethingaboutoscar.com for more information.
Thank you very much, my brother. Again, like I said, all the best to you, and I'm looking forward to meeting you and coming out to see the show.
Oh, brother, I look forward to it as well, and really, really appreciate and thank you for really giving this live historical rundown, it seems that it will be, of Oscar's life. He definitely deserves it, and he's an icon that, one of those best kept secrets. There are many, of course, many who knew him and experienced his greatness. But like everybody, when the person passes along, you have to have somebody who can help remind us of his greatness. And, so thank you, and thank Maggie, of course, for all that she does.
Well, listen, thank you again, and my best to your family.
Okay. All right, brother. Look forward to seeing you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Peace.